Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, and welcome back to Greenwich Valley with Seasons. Same day as it was when we ran all over the map and sold bales and sold wheat. Same day, and there's a couple things I want to get done on this day because we're doing 6-day seasons and things are cycling a bit faster. There's just a couple of things I wanted to get done. So we're back on the arable side of the map, the west side farm. We did bring in the rest of this wheat, and we've got the JCB on our sulky planting canola. And this will be our winter canola. Yeah, that's about right. Yep, planting canola. And if we go out here, there's our loan, still at 450,000. If we go to the map, I'm curious if this is going to end up triple fertilized as well as the other field was. And see, it is not, and that's curious to me. Now, we did spread hard manure on this field, but then we got a double FERT bonus, and apparently we have no FERT bonus on this field, on field 32. So it goes. Now, on the other side, we've got double FERT on here. We've got some weeds coming in, and I'm also curious if we can get, let me see what growth stage we're in. So if we go here and turn grass on, yep, we are in an early growth stage. I believe that will allow us to catch both the weeds and to get more fertilizer on there. I don't think we'll get a second cut in, but anything is possible. So to do that, let's head over this way. I did bring the T-dub and the trailer back here. You saw that we did that last episode. I got the trailer parked up, the flatbed trailer, and then we were pulling the Brown trailer with the T-dub, and that's what we took down to sell our wheat. We had a Hardy sprayer. It had, I believe, a 12-meter spread, and I actually traded it. Lost a little bit of money, but I got this Berthoud that has like a 9-meter spread. It's going to work better on those grass fields. And I also bought a pallet of... Back up, son. I also bought a pallet, or I guess it's not a pallet, it's an IBC. I bought an IBC of herbicide. We're going to fill this thing up and then drive to the other side of the map. Something else I can tell you, I mentioned in a Gazelsberg episode that I had updated vehicle control add-on and course play, etc. Vehicle control has really become very slow and stately. I don't mind it, but it's definitely not... if you like to play a fast game and, kind of slam it from forward to reverse, like we are pedal to the metal in reverse right now, 3 kilometers an hour. You might be going a bit faster than this, backing up in a garage, but, not nearly as fast as the game allows you to go. That is definitely recklessly fast. So we'll set the brake, we'll lower this thing, and then we will go ahead and fill it. So yeah, I want to take the herbicide sprayer. Well, it's just a generic sprayer, but it happens to be full of herbicide. We're going to take this over to the other side of the map, and then I've got another, I hate to say a surprise over there, but we do have kind of another surprise over there. And that was one other thing that I wanted to try this season. And, as far as spending money, wasting money, buying things that we shouldn't buy, I'm always going to struggle with that. I just need to come to terms with it. I never want to be reckless on our farms, but it's a game and I do want to have some fun. And I know you've heard me say that before, so if I'm repeating myself, I do apologize. But west farm to east dairy, like so. Start at first waypoint, drive like so. We don't really need to do this. We're just going to sort of passenger on the way over. Speed limits are okay. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, we're just going to passenger on the way over. We can talk about farming a little bit and talk about some of our goals for this map and so on. Now, we do have canola going in, and that's a good cash crop. I hope we'll make some good money from that. The germination temperature is right. We've had a very moist spring and summer, so the soil is nice and damp, and everything is good to go for winter canola. And I'm hoping, now we will need to fertilize that field, the one that we're just passing on the left there. We will need to fertilize it 3 times. It's really got no fertilizer on it at all at this point. And I did want to get the JCB going to get that fertilizer, to get the seed into the ground as quickly as possible so we didn't miss our window. And that's the reason I did not fertilize and then hit it with the cultivator as I normally do. And perhaps in hindsight I should have, but it's done now. So we'll just need to, let me see. I guess we could throw row crop tires on the 40 series and sort of, we don't really have tram lines, but we can, a little suspension of disbelief. Let me turn this off. Speaking of suspension of disbelief, we'll turn that off and have a nice little drive here. And I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. I'm recording this back to back with the Gazelsberg episode that I posted most recently. Posted Gazelsberg on Thursday. I'm going to post this Greenwich Valley on Friday, and then as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going to record American Truck Sim, post on Saturday. I'm going to get all those uploaded this evening, or as soon as they're done rendering, and then I'm going to be out of town for a few days, so I wanted to get all these videos recorded. So I am going back to back to back, and let's see how well my voice holds up. However, iced coffee fixes everything. It really does. Oh, it's fantastic stuff. So yeah, and it's like I said earlier, well, I've said this in several videos, and I said it when we got started tonight. I do want to play realistically, that, but there's so much cool equipment. I just saw some Bailey trailers that dropped on the Mod Hub today, and they're great, and we don't need them. We already have more and bigger trailers than we actually need on this map. We've got that 3-axle Broen, and then we've got a separate Broen for silage. We've got plenty of trailers. We don't need a Bailey, but they're so cool, right? So I'm always going to struggle with that. I just need to come to terms with that and figure out a way to, bridge up. I don't want to cheat in money. Now, we used to, when I started a map, we used to sell all the equipment, and that would generally give us 500, 600,000 euro, and then I would cheat in 2 million euro. Which always seemed like such an outrageous amount of money, and yet we'd always not necessarily run out, but we'd go through it fairly quickly. Land is expensive, combine harvesters are expensive, and big tractors are expensive. So I've gotten away from doing that. I don't want to say that it's holding us back. It's challenging, and I like that aspect of it. So I want to keep doing it the way we're doing it and not adding that extra 2 million euro, 2 million pounds. But it definitely makes a difference, and it's why we have to lease so much equipment, particularly the combine harvesters, because even the small one is 100 grand. That's a big investment. So we'll just continue figuring this out. But seasons, man, it is absolutely no joke, and I love the things that it does for the game, but it really it absolutely changes the way you play the game, and even vehicle control. What the modder has done for this most recent patch or update or whatever you want to call it, it really slows the vehicles down drastically. I don't mind that, but man, something like the first time I backed up, just come on, man, come on. But that's not how tractors are in real life. They're not sports cars. They tend to be kind of slow and stately. So that's cool. We'll adapt, improvise, and overcome, as they say. Right, so we're going to stop the driver, get rid of that course, get that out of there. We don't need it, and we're going to head up here. I'm going to drop this off first, this sprayer that's on here. I'm going to drop it off, and I brought over earlier the slurry sprayer, slurry or digestate, either one. But I brought that over, and that's what we're going to use to fertilize our fields right now. And like I said, I do want to get a third layer of fertilizer on there. I don't know if we'll get another cut in this year. Oh, there's that. You see what I'm talking about? That's it, man. I know you'd be going a little faster than that, but not a lot faster. And it's also, I guess it's sort of, there was like a lurching problem in the past patch, or the patch that I had installed before this one for vehicle control. There was kind of you back up and you just need to go that last foot, and it would go 3 feet and knock your implement over. It seems to not do that anymore, but the trade-off is perhaps that it is sort of slower all around. So I'll take it. That's a good trade-off. I think that I'd rather back up slowly and not run into my implement than have that little surge at the end. So it's fine. It is. And as with all mods, if you don't like it, just turn it off. Uninstall it. There you go. Problem solved. So this is something else that I did. When we first started this map, I bought this 4D Abbey slurry sprayer. It's probably too big for this farm. We're not even making slurry right now, right? We're adding straw to our cow shed, right? We're giving our cows bedding, which means with seasons they're making hard manure, not slurry. So we don't even have any slurry to put in this. And yet I bought it and I want to use it. So what does that mean? Well, it means we had to buy a little slurry spigot and install it out in the far corner of the pasture. So we're going to back up to that thing now, right? This is why we're broke. In case you were wondering, this is why we're broke. And then even when we did buy this slurry sprayer, early days, that we haven't even used until now, I got the stainless version and I realized all the other 4D equipment that we have, all the Broen trailers and the animal trailer that we sold, everything is New Holland Ford Blue, except for our stainless slurry sprayer. So I traded it in, and that cost us a little bit of money. And I got a blue one with the white wheels. So our farm is very thematic. And this little spigot back here, this little tap installed in the ground, was 15 grand. So that's where we didn't sell all of our wheat. We sold what we took out of the field and about 15,000 from the silo, and we made like 25 grand. But that's where that money went, was to paint our slurry tanker that we don't need and to install a slurry purchase point on the farm that we also don't need. And that little bit of gravel there on the left, I would love to take that out, but it says I don't own that land, so it won't let me paint over it with grass. As we acquire land, as we buy land, I will paint over that. Right, so let's fill this thing and see what this costs. Oh, and we have to we have to buy the slurry too. We've got like 20,000 liters of hard manure over there that we could easily use for this process, and instead we're going to use this. Oh, portable gamer, this is why you're broke, son. This is why you're broke. But fortunately, it's not terribly expensive. I think we're going to fill this whole tank for, 1,500 euro, 1,000 euro. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. Right. So that is full. 438 euro. Okay. Not bad at all. Not bad. Put it in gear. Here we go. We'll carefully. Oh, you know what? I left the gate open. Oh, don't tell my dad. He would not be happy to know that I had done that. I spent a lot of time in the backcountry with my dad when I was a kid, and in Pennsylvania, in the backcountry, there are dairy farms all over Pennsylvania, and so there are a lot of you cross a lot of private land to get to public land, and the rule is leave a gate the way you found it. But I remember being very young and asking my dad, well, what if the last person just didn't close it? And he said, you don't know that. So you just gotta, go by the rule. And the rule is leave the gate the way you found it. But woe betide if we ever had to open a gate to get through it and I didn't close it behind me. Although a lot of places, to ease the tension between people that spend time in the backcountry and farmers, they've done things like install. There we go. They've done things like install stiles in the fences, and a lot of places have where there's mountain biking. Any place there's mountain biking, there's a sort of a it's like a ramp and a stile combined. But essentially, what it does is it allows mountain bikers to cross a cattle fence without dismounting, and to do so in a way that no cow, regardless of how devious they may be, no cow could possibly ever use that style to escape. So yeah, don't tell my dad I left the gate open. Right. Fortunately, our cows are very well treated. They're very docile. The Stockholm Syndrome has set in. They don't even attempt to escape. Right. Is everything set up? We've got our spray rate turned down. Our tank is full. Yeah, I think we're good to go. And how are we doing on time? We're 15 minutes. Okay. So I'm going to set the cruise control for, what would be good? Say 15 kilometers an hour. Cruise control. And let's get to spraying. All right. I like the animation. Speed is no problem. This thing requires, I think, 150 horsepower, and our T-dub is 153. So yeah, we're okay. Now we do have to go up a little bit of a grade here. You can't really see it from that angle, but from this angle, that's a decent hill. It's not nothing. And we just motored up it. So cool. We'll get this knocked out, depending on how much we have left in the tank. At our current rate, we'll have all of it left in the tank. That is a bit too slow. Let's go back to our default spray rate. Yeah, that feels a little more realistic. Yeah, that works. In fact, we could even go a little higher than that. We've used 1% for this entire headland. Let's bump it up just a bit more. There we go. Now, I'm told there is a calculator. I know there was one for 17. There was a tablet system. There have been various tools. I really wish, either in base game or via a mod, that there was some way to click on a field and calculate, you'll need this much fertilizer, you'll need this much seed, you know. Just those numbers to know ahead of time. I do have that variable spray rate mod. I don't want to abuse it though, you know. I don't want to, like we were just on 100 liters per hectare. Was that the number? Yeah, 100 liters per hectare. Not realistic and way too low. But I also don't know, like if you remember FS15, spreading manure in FS15, you put 70,000 liters in the biggest spreader you have, and you might make it to the end of the length. So that was sort of not accurate in the other direction. So yeah, just to be able to find a good, accurate estimate of what a real field would consume in real life in terms of fertilizer, slurry, seed, you know, that sort of thing. And as far as I know, there isn't any at the moment. If you know of one, let me know in the comments, but I've never seen a good one. Really, I've never seen anyone at all other than that one for 17. Carefully, don't drive in the hedge. But yeah, this is working out, and I'm glad we do get to use this thing. I know it's an expense. I know it's in some ways it's kind of silly and it's an extravagance and we don't need it, and it's not entirely realistic that we would have this 30,000 euro piece of kit that we don't need. But it's a great mod. It's like those Bailey trailers. I'll probably end up buying one, even though we don't need one, but they look really, really good. So it goes. It's just a video game. Let's have some fun. So I think we've got, I want to say, 2 more lengths. All right. And then if we have time, if time allows, and I think it will, maybe we'll go down and at least try to get a headland done on that other field. Knock that out. And that will be our grass. Even if it hits first harvest stage, the shorter of the two, the lighter of the two, depending on how close we are to winter, because I think on this geomod, I believe you can cut grass into, the first couple days of winter, or is that only on Gazelsberg? I don't know. I do know on Gazelsberg last winter, the most recent winter that we spent on Gazelsberg, our grass never went away. It did not go to the purple harvested texture. Not the grass itself, but I mean on the map it turns purple. It never went to that stage. It stayed green all winter. And I thought that would mean that it would grow more quickly in the spring, and we did have a lot of rain on Gazelsberg as well. And the grass didn't seem to grow any faster there. So that was, we're into late summer, I want to say, and we just hit second harvest stage on grass. I don't know if we'll get a second cut in. So that's curious that even though it was ready to go in the spring, we didn't seem to get any more growth out of it during the summer. that make sense? Yeah. So same thing here. We did get it harvested early to try to get, hang on, concentrating, to try to get this proper second cut in. We did get our proper second cut in, so I guess now we're actually aiming for a third cut. Okay. May or may not happen. I think not likely, but we'll give it a try. Right, so very carefully down the lane here. I've heard this called single track. I've heard it called double track. In the United States, single track is a single tire track, so almost like a walking trail. I get the feeling that in the UK, single track refers to single width of a vehicle, so a track for one vehicle, no place to pass. So when I hear people say down the single track, I think because I spent so many years mountain biking, I immediately think of something so narrow you couldn't even get a vehicle down it. Right. So we'll go through here, and yeah, we'll just do a quick headland. Yeah, we're getting close to half an hour, and I will monitor the JCB. That should be done momentarily. I'll get everything parked up over here, and we're ready for winter at this point. Unless we have another cut. I don't know if we will or not. It'd be great if we did. I mean, I'd make silage bales and sell them because we own now all the gear that we need to do that. All right, we've got the mower, we've got the rake. No, I'm sorry, we don't. We'd have to rent a baler. But the little one, the tiniest, I'm going to bump this rate up again. Hang on. We're at 700. Let's go over 1,000. Let's go 1,200 liters per hectare and see if this, right? Because it just seems, and we used 5% of this tank for that entire field. That seems unrealistic. What was I saying? Yep, we owned everything we need to make silage bales except a baler. So I'd need to rent that, but that's only €1,000. And what did we get for 22? $4 grand. So if we could, I mean, if we're first harvest stage, we're not going to get 22 out of each field as we did. But if we did, that'd be $8 grand. You know what? I could even sell the ones that are in the shed. We don't need all of them, I don't think. When we put 2 silage and 2 hay in our mixer, that came to 16,000 liters. And to fill the trough from almost empty, used 1/3 of it. And that'll last for 2 days. So what's still in the mixer will last for the rest of autumn. And then in theory, 2 more silage bales, 2 more hay bales will take us all the way through winter till spring. So we've got like 20 plus bales, both silage and hay. We really don't need that many. Maybe I'll sell some of those, right? Even half of them. Well, I don't know about that though, because if a full flatbed of silage bales was $4 grand, then half a flatbed is going to be $2 grand. That's our loan interest for 1 day. You know, is it worth the effort to spend all that time manually loading bales on a trailer? Hard to say. I mean, money's money. I don't know. You know, if nothing else, we'll just leave them in there. And then when the next time we do have a full cut, whether it's, I doubt it's going to be this fall, but let's say somehow it was, then we just sell everything. We don't have to put anything in the barn, right? Because we have everything we need, right? Okay. I don't know. We'll just continue figuring it out. And I think, yeah, we're at 24 minutes. Is it, the AMSR videos? They say people like to see things completed. I tend to start things in my video and then I finish them off camera. Maybe we'll finish this field and we'll see if we can get that AMSR response. It is AMSR, is it not? I'm not going to look it up on my phone because my hands are full with the gamepad, but I want to say, I mean, I know it starts with A and ends with R, so it's just where the M and the S are in the middle. probably not that critical. You know the videos I'm talking about, like candles melting and stuff. Bullet going through an apple. Oh, it's just so satisfying. So satisfying. Right. Yeah, we got enough room to turn here. Oh, if we throw it over pretty hard, yeah, we got it. Missed a little bit right there. Not too bad. I would say, if I had to guess, I'm not a farmer, but if I had to guess, I would say this tank, 15,000 liters in real life, both these fields, maybe? Am I being too generous? Would you actually get more than that out of it? So that means we should be at, well, we were at, what, 90% when we started, so we should be at 40% when we're done. Not even close. We're going to have this slurry till next spring. But yeah, definitely got to crank the spray rate up. What would, yeah, well, there's a question for you. I suppose I could just Google it. How many liters of slurry per hectare is a good delivery rate? Okay, I'll do that as soon as I'm done here, and then we can just plug that number in manually. And we didn't get it from my mythical through the hedge. We didn't get it from my calculator, my farm sim calculator that I wish somebody would invent. But if it's a real life number, I'll go with that. No reason not to. But yeah, this is too slow, and we are 4x what the default rate is. Yeah, we'll address that in the future. Try to find a better, more realistic number. Because yeah, this is, what do we pay for this? 500 euro? Is that what we paid at the slurry spigot? And if we can do these fields 2 times, 3 times, it's not quite cheating, but it's in the neighborhood. Because chemical fertilizer for the same, to do these fields, I think I missed a little bit right there. Yeah, I did. Chemical fertilizer would be probably, I don't know, a couple thousand euro to do these fields rather than a couple hundred. So that's not, I don't want to make it too easy, particularly when I'm already beating up my finances in one direction. I don't want to fudge everything in the other direction, but not a big deal either way. Right, I think that's us done. Oh, that's fantastic. We're coming up on 28 minutes. I'm going to hop out here. Oh, we're not on, this isn't on a worker. If I hopped out, that would just be, that would just be like suicide, more or less. Just Leroy Jenkins, and off my tractor goes through the hedge. Okay, I will not hop out then. I'll figure out a screenshot off camera. Right. Oh, there we go. Our JCB just got done. Perfect timing. And we got one little bit left. Flip it around here. T-Dub's actually doing pretty good. This is a decent hill in this field as well. T-Dub always does really well. I do like this tractor. Right, that's us done. So we'll turn that off there. Sun is right there. So we'll pull this up right here. Yeah. Set the brake. Oh, I'm not going to be able to get rid of that message. Okay, I'll do that off camera. Close enough. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out the Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Farming Simulator 19. This is Greenwich Valley with Seasons. We'll see you next time. Take care now.